Hey, what is up guys? Skiddy Fishing here, and today I am at a community pond and I kind of wanted to do a local pond Tenkara smackdown specifically for stocked trout. And kind of what got me thinking about this was I was fishing the DRAGONtail Ragnarok at the Provo River, and I dubbed it the best river rod for that size of river and probably my travel rod going forward. But then it got me thinking, well, where do my rods hold a place when it comes to still water? Now, I am not a big community pond guy. Obviously, as you adventure on to bigger and better things in the mountains, it's just really hard to come back here. I'm also mostly a catch and release guy, so, this isn't really my forte, but I do want to test rods specifically appropriate for still water. And it just so happens I've got 6 rods up for that challenge. Now, what I want to do here is fish Tenkara rods that are 12 feet or longer. I'm not interested in fishing the zooms of those rods, so I'm not going to be testing like the middle fork at 9, 10, and 12, or whatever the lengths are. I want to fish them only at their longest lengths. So I'm going to start with the T-Hunter and then kind of work my way down to that 6th rod, and then we'll go from there. So now naturally, I just so happen to only have Wasatch rods and DRAGONtail rods, so there's some redundancy in this episode, meaning that just because I find the best rod for me for still water doesn't necessarily mean it's the best rod for everybody. So there's some TUSA rods and there's some Tenkara Rodco rods. There's plenty of great rods out there, but I've got a handful of DRAGONtail and Wasatch rods that I'm going to be using. But to somewhat keep it consistent, I'm going to use a 3.5 level line, the same fly, the same tippet for as long as I can possibly help it for. And we'll kind of go from there. Now, it's full disclosure that all ponds are not created equal, meaning that just because it works for me here doesn't mean it's, that's what your pond offers. Obviously, some people target panfish or bass, things like that. I'm only going for stock trout. And actually, I'll even go as far as to say this is one of my least favorite ponds to fish, but there's a culvert right here that just fishes so well with trout. They just kind of come here and stack up. So that's where some of my interest is, to kind of keep this video moving along. And then maybe what I'll do is whatever is dubbed the winner, I will take on a multi-pond journey specifically only for that rod to see what I can catch with it. So let me know if you guys have any questions. We'll kind of go from there. It is extreme winter weather this week, and all of this video is not filmed in the same day. So there might be some wind, some turbulence, just some annoying stuff. So I apologize in advance for that, but let's get to fishing right now. And lastly, just a quick channel shout out to some fish brain friends of mine, Gavin Gunstream, I hope I said that right, and Taylor Nichols, his buddy. Thank you for being subscribers to the Skiddy Fishy channel and talking to me recently. You guys rock, and I wish you the best on your fishing journeys. So here is the line I'm using. I'm using 3.5 level line, and I'm going to be using this kind of bubblegum pink nymph. I don't think it's tungsten, but it's definitely a little bit on the heavier side. But yeah, we're going to give this guy a try. Here's our pond. It's not very beautiful, but that's kind of winter and how these things go. So all right, this culvert's usually the spot we want to be at. This is not a tungsten beadhead nymph, but the T-Hunter casts this pretty dang well with the, with a 3.5 level line. What I would say is that this rod is not amazing at like casting. I feel like if I kind of go back and forth, that's daunting and exhausting. So what I would rather do, is get the fly out there as far as I can, lift up on the rod, right, to bring the fly closer to me. And then on the next cast, you do kind of like a roll cast. So I'm bringing it kind of, let's say, up, and then I just kind of like do a loop and bring my fly back out again. So gotcha. Gotcha. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Now I wish I had my net on me. All right, well, it's not a bad one. So let's take a look here. Okay, well, here we are with the first fish on The T-Hunter, we did it on the 15-foot length, and we did it with 3.5 level line, and the bubblegum pink fly. So we'll let this guy go. Hopefully this is the only one I forget to bring a net on, but we'll let this guy go. Actually, I'll even see if I can do it effortlessly here. There you go. You're free. You're free. You're free. That was T-Hunter. So what was nice about the 15-foot is that I've learned that they're about maybe 20 feet off the bank here. And this is my longest rod that I own, so it's really nice. Okay, next rod up is the DRAGONtail Ragnarok. Still have the same level line, the same fly. Let's go test her out. Okay. We're gonna cast out the Ragnarok right now. Oh man, that just feels so good. I love just about everything about this rod. I actually once caught a catfish about right here in the middle of winter. That would be an unexpected, but super cool catch. You know, so far my Ragnarok experience has been mostly dry flies and kabaris, but not so much. Ooh, weighted nymphs got ya. Oh, that was a really slow hook set. I like half hook set it and then I hook it up again. Oh, come on, take it. Gotcha. All right, we're gonna power bend it. So this is a very soft rod, very soft rod. I can tell you right now, this little trout feels huge on this right now. Oh, it's a tiger trout. Wow. I didn't even know they were stocking them in here. Okay. I think, I don't know why my GoPro stopped on me just barely, but let's try to get down this little muddy hill. This time I do have a net for a change. Yeah, dude. Heck yeah, that's a fish worthy of the Ragnarok right there. How cool is that, dude? Okay, here we go. Stocked tiger trout, huh? Utah's been doing a lot more of this in recent years. It's not super common, but they have been doing it here in the county. It's better the tigers than the brooks. When they release the brooks in the reservoirs, man, they just get horrific. Try to do this without touching him. There he goes. There he goes. Heck yeah, dude. Freaking tiger trout was possibly the last fish I expected here. How cool is that? Okay, next up is gonna be the Aai Samurai. We still have the same fly, the same line setup and everything. We're gonna give this one a try. Okay, let's see if we can catch one more. This is the Aai Samurai. Aai means red. It's kind of nice to have that foam. I can't really say I'm a huge EVA foam guy, but this could be, you know, some of the few scenarios where I think it could be beneficial. Now, if you're gonna spend a few hours fishing a rod, sure. I just assumed that they, you know, retain water and they could get moldy and stuff. That was a fish, dude. Let's get it right to that. Yeah, this rod cannot cast these weighted nymphs. This is a kabari and weightless fly rod. This Samurai is. In fact, even the T-Hunter with its swing weight can cast a little bit better. Now again, you know, we're comparing and contrasting the same fly, same line, same tippet, so there's some redundancy here. I understand that. Oh, got one on. Gotcha. There we go. Backing up, man. That's all I had to do. That was a tiny fish. Okay. Let's get back to the same spot we've been landing them. Probably heard me say this a few times, but man, it has been so slippery and muddy. Probably the few times I do fish community ponds is going to be when you know, it's bad weather and there's less people here, etc., etc. This guy's been caught before. He still has a power bait in his mouth. That's crazy. Okay. Just aim up, dude. A little more up. No, stop swimming down. Swim up. There we go. There we go. Thanks for playing, buddy. Okay, next up is the DRAGONtail Hydra. This one is fishable in, I think, 11.5 and 13 feet. So we're gonna get the 13, the longest one. The only attempt here. I still have the pink bubblegum nymph, so let's just keep on going. Naturally, I picked the windy week filled with storms to film all this content. Couldn't have picked a worse time. So this Hydra, I mean, it just feels comfortable, man. I fished this at a river last summer and quickly learned that I do like the 11.5, the shorter zoom. That Ragnarok 400 is just, man, it's untouched as far as how good it feels. But then you throw kind of like a heavier nymph versus the dry flies that I would throw at some of those rivers, and it makes the 13-foot length not so bad or so noticeable. Oh, that was a stick. I still have my fly on? Haha, do. Gotcha. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's go. Naturally, again, I forgot my net. I think I might just commit to doing this whole video without a net. I'm already halfway done with it. Hold my camera with my left hand. See if I can do this without... Oh, he's out. He wiggled himself free. Heck yeah, buddy. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, next rod up is the Shadowfire, and we still have the bubblegum pink weighted nymph. It's starting to get thrashed up though. Look at this. I love it. Okay, Shadowfire is next. I am slightly nervous on the fish that I catch on this particular rod because one of the blanks felt kind of weird when I opened it, so I hope I don't break it. We're about to find out. That doesn't necessarily mean that all Shadowfires are like that. Mine's a used version, not to get confused with refurbished models, but mine's just straight up a used version from another owner. Ooh, that actually kind of felt good. That was a good feel in that cast. Oh, come on. Oh, there was literally a fish right up against that. Gotcha. There we go. That's a rainbow for sure. Okay. That's good because I have to get going to work. All right. Heck yeah. All right, guys. We're down to one more rod. No issues on the blank that felt weird coming out. Shadowfire is still intact. All right. Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah. Let's go. In the net. And just like that, he's out. Okay. Shadowfire 365. Let's go. You're free to live another day. I don't know for how long, buddy. Somebody's gonna want to eat you. Somebody probably hates me for releasing these, maybe. I don't know. Okay, and our final rod here is going to be the Wasatch Tenkara rod's middle fork. So this one does go shorter than 12 feet, obviously, the zoom, but we're only going to be fishing it at the 12 foot. So let's get it done. All right, last fish, no pressure. You've yet to get skunked at this spot on any of the attempts. There have been times though where I tried to get more than one fish and it just wasn't happening. This is probably the nicest that it's been the entire time I've been making this video. Best for last, we'll see. I'm hoping I can catch another tiger trout because that was unexpected and super cool. Roll cast. Tell you what, the 12 foot on the middle fork feels so much better with a nymph. I have a video where I'm casting dry flies on it and I hated it. Like, this rod actually feels really good on dry flies in the 9 and 10 foot, or the 10 foot 6, the middle one. But this is a 12 foot rod that really does enjoy the 3.5 level line and a weighted nymph. Got ya. I had a feeling that was a fish. Hell yeah. All right, I gotta get back up here to my net. Love it, dude. Thank you. I was like, I think I'm on bottom, and then I just kind of saw my line just slowly moving forward. I was like, all right, well, I think we're about to hook sit on a fish. So it's really slippery down here, and it has been the entire time I've been making this video. That's a pretty one. That's a good stalker right there. Look at the pink lateral line on that fish. Wow. This guy is ready to go back in the water. He's not been out very long. I think he doesn't realize he's free. Come on, buddy. There you go. We didn't even lay a finger on you. There he goes. He saw me stand up. Okay, that's it. That is all the same line, the same spot, same fly. The only thing that changed was the rod. All right, guys, well, that concludes my video for the Community Pond Tenkara Smackdown, or whatever. I'm not even sure what the video is going to be called yet, but something of that nature. And just remember, guys, I am targeting stock trout specifically for this video. Many community ponds will have bass, carp, bluegill. I mean, many of them will have the same species. But if I'm targeting trout and trout only, you know, there were some things that I learned specifically in this video, such as shadow fire still holds its value at being the best bang for your buck rod, and there is no debate there. In the entire Tenkara market, it's just, for under $100, yeah, if you can only afford one rod, that's probably the rod you want. I would say for Stillwater though, I think the Hydra really surprised me. Because when I fished unweighted flies on the 13 foot, it definitely felt heavier, and it was heavier than the Ragnarok, notably. But when you add a little bit of a nymph to that, like a weighted nymph, it really evened out the swing weight of that. So I did find some potential value there. I would say for a pond like this, the Hydra is probably my favorite from this video. I would say the T-Hunter is a close second to that. I am not absolutely fond of that 15-foot reach, but again, with some weight and some nymphs, I think that's going to be a great option for a lot of people. I will say though, I do love the 12-foot section of the T-Hunter. Man, it's pretty awesome. It's probably the only true amazing feel that rod does have. But you know, if I'm going to a lake a little bit bigger than this, let's say up in the Uintas, I would say that the T-Hunter would probably be the rod that I'd want to use. Just because I know that the Uinta lakes don't have a ton of huge trout, but sometimes you just need a little bit of extra length to get out there. Sometimes the Western fly rod is just unmatched with that, but I think the T-Hunter can at least be in contention. But for a community pond, Hydra all the way. I did learn that the middle fork also has, I've regained some love and interest in the 12-foot section of it, the longest section, because again, I hated the swing weight of that on an unweighted fly. Add some weight to that though, such as that pink bubblegum nymph. It really does even it out. So sometimes if you guys buy a rod, you're throwing kabaris, dry flies, things like that, and you're just like, oh, there's just one part of this rod I don't like, add some weight to it. Try nymphing, you might be surprised. But ultimately, I'm grateful that I was able to get fish from the exact same spot in just the span of a couple days. All trout were released, pretty much released untouched. And let me know if you guys have any questions. I'd say Hydra, T-Hunter, Middle Fork, and yeah, probably those. I'd probably say those are the top 3 out of them. But man, I'll tell you what, if you can have 2, you should really look into that Ragnarok, because that is a special rod. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I think it's probably worth taking the Hydra and the T-Hunter to a couple different ponds here for a follow-up video. And if you'd like to see that video, let me know in the comments below and we'll go from there. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for being a subscriber to Skiddy Fishing, and we'll see you guys on the next adventure. Tight lines, everyone. Big bald eagle here at Spring Lake. That's a first for me. How cool is that? Just chilling in the residential neighborhood.